Originally released in 2010 to tie in with the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World movie, Scott Pilgrim the game fused the charm of the graphic novels with some beat-em-up gameplay for one unforgettable classic. Sadly, that time didn't last as the game was delisted in 2014, leaving the game lost unless you kept yours downloaded on your original PS3 or Xbox 360. Luckily, to celebrate its 10th anniversary, Ubisoft is re-releasing the original game complete with all its downloadable content, online multiplayer, updated graphics, and for the first time, it's portable with it coming to Nintendo Switch. If for whatever reason you've never read the graphic novels or watched the movie, I'm going to keep the synopsis brief for you so you can go ahead and check those out because they're fantastic. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World follows a young 24-year-old Scott, a dude in a band obsessed with video games, and now he's dating Ramona Flowers. The only thing is that in order to keep dating Ramona, he's going to need to defeat her 7 evil exes. No worries though, Scott has the help of his friends and he's going to need it too, with some of these exes being able to summon demon vampires and another having superpowers. It's because he's vegan, obviously. If that sounded wackily convoluted to you, it's because it is, and that's the charm of Scott Pilgrim the game. It takes so much from the source material and applies it so accurately well into a video game. If you enjoyed playing Double Dragon or River City Ransom, you're going to feel right at home playing Scott Pilgrim. You're able to play as Scott, Ramona, Stills, and Kim, along with all the DLC and unlockable characters from the original release. Each character loosely plays similar in terms of controls, but different when it comes to moves. Characters have a fast and strong attack, along with a block and jump for a basic but easy to learn moveset. Along with those basic attacks, each character can perform a super attack and call an ally using both the shoulder buttons on your controller. Now while this is all pretty common for most beat 'em up games, what makes Scott Pilgrim stand out a bit is its implementation of RPG mechanics that keep your characters leveling up and unlocking new moves. You see, despite this game only being 7 worlds long, something that can be beaten on average in about 4 hours, you'll be doing a lot of replays because Scott Pilgrim is tough. That's where the RPG mechanics come into play. These worlds that consist of 1 or 2 sections that culminate with an evil X-boss fight, earn you both money and XP that can aid you in future world runs. XP levels up your characters as it would in any other RPG, and money fuels any shops that you can buy items to boost your character stats. Your character stats go up with XP, and you unlock new moves like being able to crouch kick or run and throw objects at the same time. This helped gameplay feel fresh as every few minutes I'd unlock a new attack that I could experiment with in terms of combos. I personally don't find myself super into this genre, but that layer of progression helped me stay invested, and I really appreciated that. Outside of the main story mode, which can be played alone, locally with 4 players on a single console, or online with strangers or friends, there are a few bonus game modes. Boss Rush is self-explanatory, a high score driven boss battle mode. The more unique game modes are Dodgeball, Survival Horror, and Battle Royale. Dodgeball is quite literally a game of dodgeball where you can only deal damage by grabbing and throwing the ball on screen. Battle Royale is a 4-player free-for-all versus mode that pit human players against each other. This, along with the Survival Horror mode that acts like a zombie survival game, were my personal favorite side activities as they at least felt like evolutions of what the core gameplay was designed around. Now despite this looking great so far, I do have a few nitpicks and grievances with this release. While you can drop in the middle of a story mode playthrough, you can't drop out. This means that once a second player joins in, the only way for them to leave is for you to quit and restart the game mode. Additionally, there are moments in the campaign that push for platforming mechanics, something that this game just wasn't really well designed for. Characters easily slide when moving and take quite a bit to get up once they fall, so having to intricately platform this area with 4 of my friends online was a bit of a mess. Speaking of online, take this with a grain of salt as I played this prior to launch and this could be updated at launch, and I had reported these bugs to Ubisoft already, but online is hit or miss right now on the Switch at least. I can only really speak for the Switch since that's what my review code was on, but in my time playing with my friends over at Good Vibes Gaming, Nintendo Life, and The Escapist, I had moments where lobbies would crash before getting into the actual gameplay, lobbies crash mid-gameplay, and then flawless games as well. There wasn't anything specifically that stood out that would cause these issues. We all had a great connection, and it didn't seem like Ubisoft Connect servers were down at the time either. If you're planning to buy this solely for the online multiplayer, then perhaps check the pinned comment on this review for some updated online impressions once the game is live for everybody. What helps keep Scott Pilgrim apart from other games is its immaculate attention to detail. Personally, I feel like a lot of beat 'em ups tend to reuse visuals, especially when it comes to settings and backgrounds, but Scott Pilgrim avoids that, for the most part. Sure, it uses some repeat NPCs here and there, but the levels themselves consistently felt unique from each other. I really appreciated that, and having it tie into the film and books as well, with each world beautifully recreating the different streets of this fictional Toronto, it's so easy to get lost in. Not only that, but the pixel art on display has a marvelous style to it that works both in gameplay and in cutscenes. The personality of characters in the source material isn't lost in this translation to video game screens. Key moments are elegantly recreated in pixel art charm, and I appreciated the little touches too, like the slight hint of light when playing the dodgeball multiplayer mode on the beach. Now with it coming to new consoles, the sprites have been fully updated to 1080p respectively, depending on the console you're playing on. I played on Nintendo Switch, which means I got this running at 1080p in dock mode and 720p in handheld mode. Playing this on the Switch Lite looked marvelous, and it consistently got me conflicted between playing alone on my Lite or playing on my regular Switch so others could play locally docked. While this still feels like one of the best games to play on a couch, I was very persuaded into just solely playing this as a handheld game and maybe online with a few other reviewers. This game's soundtrack might be 10 years old, but boy is it still some of the best chiptune music in video games. That's in thanks to the amazing work done by the talented Alamilla, who once again demonstrates why they're stars in this genre. If for whatever reason you don't care about this game or the IP, do yourself a favor and at least check out the soundtrack. I, who got this game for free for this review, am currently looking at rebuying the game just to get the soundtrack for myself. It's that good. Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, was and continues to be a love letter to the IP and the beat-em-up genre. It encompasses so much from the source material while paying tribute to the games that helped inspire its gameplay. This release continues to celebrate that, and even though it doesn't do a lot to add on to the original, for its $14.99 asking price, it more than delivers. Being on modern consoles with online multiplayer and all the paid content included, Pilgrim is well worth picking up, or picking up a second time if you already bought it on PS3 or 360. Hey everyone, thanks so much for clicking on the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe and show your support with a like. If you want to keep up to date with me outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter or join my Discord server. Both are linked in the description. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.